any or all of these webinars, go ahead and get signed up.
Okay, thanks, Joan. You have one more slide, don't you?
I do have one more slide. And this is one that we're really excited to bring to everyone. We are doing some face-to-face workshops throughout the state, and this is called Entry-Level ESOL Instructional Strategies for ITPs. We have a session in El Paso the Monday after Thanksgiving, Houston that next Tuesday, and then in Arlington on November 30th. Again, these are face-to-face only and seating is limited, but we would love to be able to physically see you in one of these 3 locations. And registration for this is also in the PD portal. And if you have any questions on that, I will drop my email in the chat and y'all can send me an email. Thanks.
Thanks, Joan. Busy. Okay, now we'll go into Michelle and Ashley covering our Distance Education Professional Development Center.
Hi, everyone. It's actually just going to be Michelle today, but we wanted to make sure that you are aware of our training on North Star Digital Literacy Curriculum, which is something that we have purchased statewide. So every single one of you, your programs have access to North Star now, and your program staff need to know how to use it. So make sure that they know about these opportunities. We have had a series of 3 sessions happening, and each session has been repeated 3 times for a total of 9 sessions. We're about halfway through. So the second in the series was called Getting Started with North Star. The last opportunity to attend that one is tomorrow at 2 p.m. It's an hour and a half long. So if your DL leads in your program or anybody who has been named an admin for your program have not attended a session yet called Getting Started with North Star, they need to get in the PD portal and sign up for tomorrow's session at 2 p.m. And then the last in the series is called North Star from a learner's perspective. And this will be the opportunity to really see what does it look like when a learner logs in and starts using the curriculum online. So those sessions will be repeated or will happen 3 times as well. And you can register in the PD portal. Those are 2-hour sessions. So it's a little different than the previous ones, which have been an hour and a half each. There is PD credit for these. And just one piece of clarification I want you all to hear. We are asking that all DL leads and anybody who has been named an admin for North Star to attend these. Your program directors named admins. We are not requiring that every teacher attend them, but we do recommend it. There's been some misinformation out there that every teacher in the state of Texas and AEL is required to attend this. That's not quite the case, but we recommend they attend it. So let them know that they're welcome to be there and they'll learn a lot about this amazing curriculum if they attend. All right, next slide. We just want to make sure you're getting the word out there to both your instructors and your students about the call center. I know every single one of you know of some instructor who needs a little extra help with tech. We've spent the morning this morning helping an instructor who is struggling to get her Zoom classes opened for her students. This is exactly what we're here for, is to help teachers figure out everything that they need to know to be able to teach online and offer those remote classes. We're here to help students who are having trouble getting on Zoom, having trouble uploading homework, having trouble using their distance learning curriculum. We're here to help students and teachers who are having trouble learning this new program called North Star. It's really user-friendly though. So make sure that your staff know they can call us and that they're getting the word out to the students. And we're going to talk about a few ways to do that in 2 slides from now. But let's go to the next slide. We're open during the holidays, but we are going to be closed for the first time since we've opened for Thanksgiving Day. So the 2 days of the week that we are closed are Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day. However, while the rest of your staff are getting a break and kind of getting over their food comas from eating all that food on Thanksgiving, and your students are wanting to do some work on Friday and Saturday and do their homework, which we want them to do, we'll be open and we'll be able to help those students if they get caught with some technical issues. So make sure everybody knows they can call us on that Friday, Saturday, Sunday of Thanksgiving weekend. It's just Thanksgiving Day will be closed. And the next slide, which is our last one. Okay, so ways that your staff can be integrating information about the call center into your programs. Make sure at every student orientation you do, the students know how they can locate us. Show them our website, give them our magnets, have our posters up in your program offices. Give them our bookmarks. If you need any of those, I'll drop an order form into the chat box as soon as I finish this so that you can order information. Also put our website and our phone number on any syllabi and on your LMS, on your website, in your email signature, and even ask teachers to add a slide to the end of their lessons or the beginning of their lessons. Like I think like adding it at the end when a teacher's reminding students about their homework. And if you get stuck on your distance learning curriculum and don't know how to log in or navigate the site or find your homework, call the call center. It would be a great last slide in any lesson. Okay, I see we had one question and I'm going to address that and then we'll move on. Okay, so if you are using Essential Education for your distance learning, we want you to continue using Essential Education for your distance learning. And Essential Education is so much more than just digital literacy. The only thing that we have purchased for your programs are digital literacy curriculum. So keep using that Essential Education for TABE and for GED Academy. And even if you have Computer Essentials by Essential Education, we purchased a few extra seats for you on that, but you can use North Star as well. We don't necessarily want you to replace anything with North Star. It's just an addition to have extra things for your students to be able to work on digital literacy. I think that is all. Thank you. Any other questions, you can write them in the chat box. I'll keep addressing them.
Thank you, Michelle. What a fabulous resource.
There was a comment or question. It says, we have a DL lead that may not want to use this and not want to attend. Should we require it?
Here, Michelle.
Yeah, I want you to address that.
This is Lori. We are not requiring it from our level. If you want to require it locally, that's a decision for your program director, and you can certainly do that at the local level. Does that answer your question, Marie? Okay, cool.
Thank you, Lori.
Yep.
Yes. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Olga. Now let's turn to the new trainings and the conferences and statewide events. We'll kick it off with the literacy symposiums, and I'll share information about this. These are all the literacy symposiums for 22 and 23. So next week, the Gulf Coast has their virtual literacy symposium on November 18th. Now, DFW did have to cancel their face-to-face event, so there will no longer be a December 10th event. But then you go into 2023 in February, you have South Texas. March, you have East Texas. April, you have the Literacy Symposium for faith-affiliated programs. May, you have South Plains Literacy Symposium, and Eduardo added his Laredo Literacy Symposium for June 15th. So these are all, I guess, to be determined and announced if they'll be virtual or face-to-face. You can always find more information and register for these symposiums on the link that's at the bottom of this screen, and Olga will put it in the chat pod. Now, right above the link, you'll see that the annual Literacy Texas Conference is now August 1st and 2nd. You still arrive, if you wish, on Sunday evening. That's exhibitor preview, but it begins right there early August 1st, Monday morning. So it's Monday and Tuesday, and it's in College Station. So come see us. And now I think we'll go to Anne-Marie and she has a free webinar to share with us on the next slide.
Thank you so much, Paula and Olga, and howdy, everybody. I want to share with you an opportunity that does not come around all the time. This is from the Learning Disability Association of America, or the LDA, and this is going to be a webinar on dysgraphia. And dysgraphia is a specific learning disability that involves written expression, including actually the physical task of writing and the mental task of composing one's thoughts on paper. And so this is defining dysgraphia, creating and understanding support. And the presenter is Dr. Jennifer King, and she's the founder of an organization called Dysgraphia Life. And so what will teachers learn, or what will we learn on this webinar? Because I'm registered for this already myself. And this is to understand and identify what dysgraphia is, and we'll explain the interventions and accommodations that educators and caregivers can use to support and instruct individuals with dysgraphia. And the reason I think this is a great opportunity is because these webinars from the LDA are not always free. And so this is an opportunity to learn from practitioners in the field, and they're very practitioner friendly. So I know Olga or Paula will put the link in the chat pod, and the date is coming up November 17th, and it is 11 o'clock Central Standard Time, or 12 noon Eastern Time. And so the link will take you right to the register button. One more thing, if you decide you want to attend but you can't, they will send you a recording and a link to all the resources that they provide. So I thought this would be a good one to share. Thanks, Paula.
Thank you, Anne-Marie. Olga, you want to see the chat pod? Michelle shares a link in which you can get the Distance Ed Professional Development Center resources, like the posters and the magnets. And then Eduardo says the Laredo Literacy Symposium in June will be face-to-face.
Thank you, Paula. And I put the link in the chat pod. We will put the link to register in the chat pod right here, the LDAamerican.org. So thank you, everybody. I was trying to find it. I was on the wrong side. My apologies. All right, Paula.
Thank you, Anne-Marie, for sharing that resources. We're going to stop right now and see if you have any questions that we can answer. For any information that's been shared to date, did we miss anything in the chat pod, or you want to unmute and ask us any questions?
Oh, if possible, may you go back to the new course on the PD portal. May you go back to the new course on the PD portal.
She might be talking about the LDA webinar that Anne-Marie just spoke about.
Is this one it, Yoliet?
No, the one that
The North Star?
new courses that will be on the PD portal. Sorry, I got interrupted in that slide. Yes, that one. Thank you.
Oh. So this is
this one.
Yoliet, these are the literacy symposium dates, and those can be found on the Literacy Texas calendar.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Thank you.
And I'll put that in the chat again, that link.
Thank you.
Thank you. Perfect. That's what the question and answer's for. Any other questions? Okay, you ready to move on to our monthly webinar series, and we'll kick it off with Wendy on Manager Monday.
Good afternoon, everybody. The next Manager Monday is this upcoming Monday, November 14th from noon to 1. And the topic for this month is using distance learning to increase MSGs. So our presenters are Dr. Deborah Hargrove of TCAL and Lori Slayton from TWC. And during this session, they will discuss Texas's rate of MSGs using the none, some, and mostly report out of teams, and also how incorporating approved distance learning curriculum combined with traditional instruction can really help your students complete their goals and move forward in life. So hope you can join us for that one on Monday. Next slide. So after November, in December on the 12th, Dr. Rick Alvarado will be returning, and his session is titled Seek Understanding Before Taking Action. And in this session, he will discuss strategies for listening to hear and understand rather than just listening to respond and talk. And then in January on the 23rd, we have Catalina Gonzalez from World Education. Her session, Actions for Digital Equity, Digital Navigation, Connect to Opportunity, will discuss the Digital Navigator model and how it is a comprehensive approach to address multiple layers of becoming digitally included. This session will also identify strategies to help you build or improve your digital navigation program. So put all of those on your calendars and on your radar and share information as needed. The November one is in the portal, and I'm just realizing right now I need to get the December 12th one in the portal, and then January 23rd will be in the next couple of weeks as well in the PD portal. Next slide. So we only have 2 more sessions in this calendar year, and then next month I will give you all of the dates for 2023. So for now, just November 14th, December 12th, and then January 23rd. And then next month I'll have the whole calendar year for you. And I think that's it for me, Paula.
Great, Wendy. Thank you. Okay, what's happening in Teacher Tuesday, Krista?
All righty. Hi. So we are taking a break from Teacher Tuesday in December. So you get a month off from sessions with Teacher Tuesday, but in January, we have lessons from the field, digital navigation, connect to opportunity. So January 10th, our presenter is Catalina Gonzalez from World Ed. This is all about digital navigators, and one of our and a national presenter coming in to talk about this opportunity. So, and we've got a lot of really good sessions on the horizon for February and March. So hang tight and we will get you those announcements next month.
Thank you, Krista. Okay, Olga, what's going on in Workforce Wednesday?
Ooh, Workforce Wednesday. So for November, which is next week, November 16th, we have Jacqueline Aguilera, and she's going to be talking about the greening of workforce literacy, part 1. So in part 1 of this 2-part training, she's going to explore the evolving alternative energy market and employment opportunities in alignment with what the U.S. Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm calls Americans' means to energy security. So an introduction to that curriculum and resources to integrate those skills that are needed for that green energy job market and entrepreneurial opportunities into the classroom instruction are going to be provided. And so then join us on December 14th when Jackie Aguilera comes back and provides the greening of workforce literacy part 2. And in part 2, she's going to take a deeper dive into creating those opportunities for project-based learning and integration of partnerships and materials to support that green energy learning and employment skills in the classroom. So participants will engage with those resources to develop at least one ready-to-go lesson in green energy job opportunities for employment and community change. So join us for these 2. Very exciting, something new that I hadn't thought about, but I think it's really important that we potentially think about these type of opportunities for our students. And then we have those 2 dates, November 16th and December 14th for the final 2 for this year. And our new dates are here, and I'll provide those in the chat shortly. See, this little guy's really excited for the 2023 dates. And I'm already planning the sessions for next year. But if y'all have any ideas, and we'll go on to that slide after Anne Marie, just please do email us, because we really appreciate your ideas. Thank you so much, Paula.
Oh, thank you, Dr. O. Okay, and we have the wonderful world of Tech and Tell. Anne-Marie, share this.
Thank you. Tough acts to follow. Such great webinars coming from the series. So let's talk about Tech and Tell. So we are in November, and Carrie Stell from Grayson College is new to the Tech and Tell series. And last week she presented on a website called passiton.com. And many of you may be familiar with this website or seen the commercials or the public service announcements or the billboards, but wow, I had no idea how many resources there were. So it is a two-part webinar. And last week she presented, and this week is November 11th, tomorrow. And she will be back to really talk application. What can you do with all these wonderful resources? It was a great turnout last week. I see Tiffany said it was great. I bet all the same people will be back this week. So we're really excited. And so that's going on. So let's go to the next slide. And then back by popular demand is Miss Amber Miller from Austin Community College. And the teachers really felt that they needed more time with Flippity. So we're going to do more flips in December with Flippity on December 9th. And so she'll be back to talk about all the different activities that she did not have a chance to talk about. So before we move to the next slide, I want to stop here and I want to share some information with the PD coordinators, because I think this is a really good point to kind of highlight here. During the months of September, October, and then December, the Tech and Tells all provided 5 webinars on interactive applications and websites for creating online activities for students. So we talked about Flippity, LearnHip, and WordWall. So if teachers are struggling with how to engage their students in the classroom, both in person and in the virtual classroom, these are very good webinars to assign in the PD portal once they're available. So, one thing that I always want to say about the Tech and Tells is think about a series of things you can assign versus 1 or 2, especially since this is a theme, right? Interactive apps and websites that are really good for the English language learners. So again, I want to share that we have Flippity, LearnHip, and WordWall kind of all doing the same things, but in a little different way. So I'll put those in the chat pod. So I just wanted to share, that with everybody. Okay, so now we can go to the next slide. And we do have January 20th and 27th. I will actually be presenting in January myself with Carol Van Diver from Northeast Texas College. And we're going to be revisiting a website, and we're going to revisit Common Lit. More information to come, but we're going to look at it in a completely different way because they've done a lot of revamping on the website. And then in February and March and possibly April, we're going to be revisiting another website that's done a complete overhaul. And so more information about that. So next slide. And as always, we appreciate your recommendations for presenters, as Dr. Escamilla said. And so here's our contact information, which I will put in the chat pod. Thanks, Paula.
Thank you, Anne-Marie. What wonderful webinar series we have going on. Wealth of information. Now we've paused again. See if you have any questions that we can answer. Olga, did you see any questions in the chat pod recently? We got them all answered?
I have not. I just saw a few comments about when Anne-Marie was talking about Carrie and everybody. I almost thought Ashley said, who's Carrie Stell? But she said, woo, Carrie Stell. All right. So I got to look at my reading. And then we had just comments about the webinar was great. We love Carrie, says Dr. Deborah, and that's all we've got. So any questions, please don't hesitate to put them in the chat.
Okay. We will now advance into the assessment training with Tracy.
Good afternoon, everyone. And unlike my predecessors, Olga, Wendy, and Anne Marie, with all their dates, if y'all want to go to the next slide, I don't have any dates to share with you yet. So please stand by for the spring dates. I'm hoping that the next PD coordinator webinar, I'll have some dates to share with you in the spring for the Train the Trainer events for testing. Some of you may know that if you do TABE, if you've logged into the interface on TABE, you definitely know there was a change there. So we're having to update those trainings to reflect the new screens there. That was, I'm sure it made you cry if you're using TABE. I almost did, or banged my head against the wall. That was the other terminology I used about that. I think I did that just because, you know, we just have to make all these changes when this happens, but hopefully it's more user-friendly for you on your side in the Universal User Management System. And we're also making some updates with CASAS. So with that said, just stand by for spring dates. And many of you on this webinar are too young to remember the antenna, the TV with the antenna. So I just thought that was kind of funny. It's a throwback Thursday little picture there. So stay tuned if you have any questions in the meantime about testing, or you need a trainer, contact your PD specialist and they will get you, help you with that information or any questions you might have. So thanks and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks,
Thanks,
you, Tracy.
Paula.
Clever slide. Any questions for Tracy on assessments or anything we've talked about thus far that we can answer? Okay, I think we're ready to go for the PD portal news and updates with Katie.
There is a comment before Katie starts. Denise says, if we remember, maybe it gives us hope about continuous change that we can do.
Oh, and you're talking about the TV. Okay,
Yeah,
Denise, I was kind of thinking, what is she talking about? Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
All right, Katie.
Hey everyone, we have 4 courses published this month. We have Teacher Tuesday, free digital literacy curriculum for all TWC AEL programs. We have Tech and Tell, Words Really Can Talk Part 1, Workforce Wednesday, USA Hello, Find, Learn, Thrive. And then we also have Workforce Wednesday, Career Exploration Step 4. Just as a reminder, if staff are not able to attend the live webinar, give us a few weeks and we'll have them published into the PD portal.
Okay, any questions for Katie Snow on the PD portal? I don't see any questions in the chat pod. You can unmute and ask if you wish. Thank you, Katie. Okay, you want to move on and go to your time, the PD coordinator time, and we'll let Krista have the floor.
All right. Hi. So I didn't get any questions through the email, but I did get a sample of something that I wanted Carly Woods to share with the group. She shared a PD Wakelet with her staff and she copied me on it. And I saw this and decided that it was so well done that sharing it with the rest of the PD coordinators would be a good thing. So I'm going to let Carly Woods, she is the Houston Galveston Area Consortium PD coordinator. And I'm going to let her take this away and let her show this wakelet that she shares with her staff.
Thank you, Krista. Yes, it was a happy accident that Krista was on the email, but I'm glad you saw it. So here at HGAC, this year, we've been trying to figure out easier ways to give out information since we are such a large consortium. And so I decided to do a PD Wakelet. We also have a Wakelet for career navigators, and then in the works is one for all of our other items going on in HGAC. But on my particular Wakelet, this is the homepage of it. And I right now just have my PD resources, upcoming calls and events. And then I also have on here Katie's Wakelet that she created for all PD coordinators for the supervisory PD portal resources. So that way, these items are easy to access without having to go and search in different areas. And so for my PD resources, it's some items from the TCall website, but then some HGAC resources as well. So we recently updated our standards and guidelines. So I've added that. I've added the performance guide, the testing guide, the PD plan template. We have a requirements playbook for trainings that are required, staff qualifications and things of that nature. So if our providers are looking for any information, one click away for any and all PD resources that they might need. On my upcoming calls and events, from our needs assessments and things that we do, I find items that speak to what our providers need, and I try and put those first on the events. So what's upcoming is what Joan shared earlier for the entry-level ESOL instructional strategies for ITPs. And then I also have it linked to where it'll take them automatically to log into the PD portal so they can register for that event. I also went ahead and listed upcoming PD opportunities that again speak to the needs of our providers and their staff. I also have when our PD coordinator calls are now hosted by Train PD, and they can click on the title and it again takes them straight to the login page for the PD portal to register. And then I also have added upcoming conferences as well, just so they have that information. It'll take them straight to that website where they can see pricing, registration, hotel information, and things like that. And then I also wanted to show y'all what's upcoming for HGAC. And so we wanted to obviously include PD and career pathways since those are really developed. And Kelly also shares that Wakelet with career navigators within our consortium. But we wanted to include the testing cohort that we have. And we've done a board for all AEL letters, and we have it separated out by different categories. And I'll open that. We also have an education opportunity connector, which is where our AEL providers work with workforce solutions, HSE vouchers. And so we want it to be where for the entire consortium, they can come to one page. And when you click on the board, it'll automatically take you to my PD page that I just shared with you. So for the AEL letters, we have it out by like program management, testing guidance, teams, career pathways, and there's other ones, but it really was just what can we hand out that's one click where everything is without searching. And so when Krista saw it, she was like, hey, this is great. I was like, thank you. So if y'all want to look at it, copy it, make your own, I can put the link to the Wakelet in the chat. If you have any feedback for me on maybe what I should add to it, I'm open to that too. But that's really it. If y'all have any questions for me, I can answer some.
You're getting lots of information in the chat pod, Carly. Kudos. Great job.
There's also 2 trainings that I've come across in the PD portal for Wakelets, and that was very helpful with getting started and learning more information. So it's just, I think, a really good resource that's easy to put together and pretty clean and seamless for your staff.
Thank you, Carly. I think Krista had mentioned that there were 2 Wakelet sessions. So that is awesome that you just like read her mind and and said it out loud. I was going to read it. It's like, wait a minute. There you go. Great. So do you see what Carly created just by watching these 2 Wakelet sessions? So awesome. Thank you.
Great job. Thank you for sharing.
And Olga, I think she put it in the chat pod for the link. So thank you so much for Carly. Thank you so much, Carly, for showing this to us. And anybody else that has something that they've done that they're using in their program that works really well, let us know so we can highlight it like this. Like she said, I just happened to be copied on the email, and I looked at it and was like, this is fantastic. So thank you so much, Carly, for showing.
Thank you, Krista. And we got a message from Michelle Vick, and she says you can also reach out to Ashley Winkle or Tiffany Lee for more help with Wakelet if you want. She said they're Wakelet experts. And Tiffany Lee says, very nice. Wakelet is a great tool to use. Follow me if you'd like. And she lists her Wakelet. So thank you, Tiffany Lee, for doing that. All right.
Thank you so much. All right. And last slide for me is, I know it feels like it's only November and January seems a little bit far away. But if you are wanting to have some training in January for your programs, please get with your PD specialist now so that we can get your trainers booked and contracted with and get things on the portal, because December gets real short very quickly, and also some of our best trainers get booked quickly. So if you want January training, please get with your PD specialist now to get that set up. Yeah, Tiffany, I see that January happens real fast and everybody likes training that first 2 weeks of January. So let us know what you need and what you want. So is there any other questions out there that you have that's on your mind right now that we can possibly help you with?
This is Jan Bartlett in Lubbock. We have a new distance learning coordinator in one of our rural schools. Is there anything, because I'm still rather new to this position as PD coordinator, is there something specific that they have to do as far as on the PD portal that they need to know? I mean, anything specific?
I'll let Michelle take that because you said DL, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
We have hired a new distance learning. We've actually added a distance learning coordinator in one of our rural campuses. And being that I'm fairly new to this, when I came in, we had a distance learning coordinator that had been on the job for 20 plus years. What specifics do I need to help the new DL? Are there any requirements that they have to take as far as in the PD portal?
Yes.
I'm a little lost on what I need to help her with.
So they need to do DLA 1, DLA 3, and then they also need to be signed up for our monthly distance learning leads meetings. And they can reach out to me and we'll get them added in the PD portal so that they can register for those monthly meetings, and we'll also add them to our listserv.
Thank you so much. That helps a lot.
All right. Excellent question. Any other questions?
Well, Deb mentioned that they could send her the DL policy from the web page. Thank you, Deb.
All right. Awesome. Well, this went very quickly, so awesome. Always like to give people some of their time back. Our next PD coordinator webinar is December 8th, and we will be here with things probably to kick off the new year. So be here to hear all of that good info. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, please email me with those questions. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Krista. Any last minute questions? Krista's given us lots of opportunities, but anything else before we close the webinar?
This is Sandra Pearton, and I have a personal story to share about the distance education call center if this is the right time.
I think it's a great time.
I do too.
We always have time for that.
Talk, Sandy. Talk.
Well, I just wanted to share that I was actually driving in my car, and my sister called me on the phone. My sister is 67 years old. She is currently enrolled in college, getting her bachelor's degree at 67, Woo! And we are really proud of her and the family. But she is a little technology deficient. And so she asked me to help her with something. And like I said, I was driving in the car, but I did, when I stopped at a stoplight, I had the phone number for the distance education call center. And so I gave her the phone number, and I said, call them. And when I get home, I'll check with you. If they were able to help you, that's great. If not, I'll help you when I get home. So I called her back in a little while, and she said, oh my gosh, Sandy, this place is fabulous. She said, they really helped me so much. She said they were so fast. They got me on Zoom. They showed me what I needed to do, and it's already done. And she was so excited about it. And she said it was just wonderful. So I just wanted to share that story and tell y'all how much I appreciate the Distance Education Call Center, because it personally helped me and my family.
What a wonderful story to share. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
Okay, this ends our webinar unless we have anybody else that has questions. We do want to say from TCAL, we appreciate all what you do in the AEL field. You guys are just wonderful. And we will wish you a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you early in December. And enjoy the rest of your day.